Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! Hello once again, ladies and gentlemen. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everybody watching this video, and wherever you're hearing my voice and watching my video from, thank you so much for having made this the most popular Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel amongst every age demographic. I can't even believe I just said this, but yes, you are watching the most popular Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel in the universe right now, if not the galaxy, because of how much love and support you've shown for every video that I've ever uploaded here. I say this because having the honor to have recorded over 700 Descendants of Zombies videos on your favorite stars such as Clarke and Freya, Skye, who we're talking about in this video, it's really an honor because you get to know the Descendants of Zombies fans in this niche for who they are as people and everyday individuals, because every Descendants of Zombies fan is different in their own unique way. And I'm here to tell you guys, if you are a fan of Descendants of Zombies or just a fan of Clarke and Freya, Skye, who may be watching this video, who found this thumbnail and clicked on it, you gotta know that there's nothing wrong with being a fan of Descendants of Zombies. I've loved collecting action figures and stuffies, as you see there as part of my backdrop from my YouTube video, and I've seen nothing wrong with it for years. So if you guys are passionate about showing your love and support for Freya and Kylie and collecting Descendants of Zombies dolls and all the merch that goes with it, all I've ever wanted you to do is continue to follow your passion. That's the reason why I'm dressed in a Home Alone Christmas sweater today, is because I'm very passionate about the holidays. I love Christmas so much. I love things about the Christmas lights. I love how it's a festive time of year, how you can never spread enough kindness in every video that you ever upload, and encourage kindness to be spread more often and to tell more people that you love them. It's an incredible time of year, and it's an incredible time to be a fan of Descendants of Zombies because so much is happening for Descendants of Zombies. Far more things are happening for this franchise than ever given enough credit for. We saw Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires this past summer, the overwhelming success of the Worlds Collide Tour. That was a success story in its own right, and it had everything to do with each and every one of you. Off the success of the Worlds Collide Tour, then came Snow Angels. The predecessor to that one, of course, was Red Christmas, and that blew up in 2024. And now Snow Angels has over 74,000 likes on YouTube, going back to how much love and support each and every one of you have shown for it. And now this new song, which was released first on December 2nd from Freya, Skye, it's called Silent Treatment. It's got a lot of mixed reactions and reviews. But, you know, I've never really paid attention to anybody else's reviews on YouTube because the only reviews you guys have ever cared about is Jonathan Clarke on YouTube, right? That is your favorite YouTube channel. I'm your favorite YouTube video blogger, so everybody's subscribing here because you guys are finding this YouTube channel because of my passion for Descendants of Zombies that I've shared with each and every one of you, and I've absolutely loved having the opportunity to share my opinion on Descendants of Zombies with a global audience because more people know who Jonathan Clarke on YouTube is from wherever you're hearing my voice, and you guys have shown so much appreciation for every video that I've ever uploaded because, to be honest with each and every one of you, I don't know if I'd ever be able to do this without your love and support, because I think never enough nice things can be said about Freya, Skye, and Kylie. You guys have forever and always known me for always having Kylie back against all the critics she's ever been up against, for all the criticism that she's ever received. I've taken my fair share of bullets against all these critics when it comes to Kylie, and I've forever and always had her back. And I seem to have forever and always had the back of Freya, Skye early on in her career, because the reality of this is Freya, Skye still has a long way to go. You know, I remember being 15 years old, Freya, Skye's age, and I didn't know if I was coming or going. All I ever wanted to do was play video games on my PS2 with my friends. And at 15 years old, Freya, Skye is a mega superstar. Everybody knows who she is. It's a lot to have to deal with. So I really don't believe that there's room for any amount of criticism in any conversation that has had anything to do with Freya, Skye for X amount of years. I really do believe that if we're going to say something about Freya, Skye, the least we can do as YouTubers is say something nice about her and give a song like Silent Treatment more of a chance than it's ever been given before. Because everybody has their own theories on how this song came to be. Of course, they think it's because of a personal experience that Freya, Skye may have dealt with in her own life. Somebody that may have ghosted her kind of came into her life and unexplainably vanished. I've heard and I've seen it all when it comes to Silent Treatment. But the reality of this is, it's a song that was pretty much just a jumble of lyrics on a piece of paper. And she wanted it to be an inspiration, or come off as an inspiration at least to every fan of Freya, Skye that she's ever had. And it succeeded in its expectations, and it exceeded the expectations of every critic that it ever had. Do you guys remember how Dr. Seuss came up with the Cat in the Hat? I know that's a really cool analogy, but the Cat in the Hat was like 1,500 words jumbled together on a piece of paper. It was produced over 35 years ago, and it became one of the most successful Universal movies ever produced. I remember being a huge fan of it. But The Cat in the Hat just started as 1,500 words. It was a poem. And that's pretty much how Freya Skye came up with this song. It had nothing to do with anything she may have been going through in her own life. She just wanted this song to come off as a song that could relate to everybody and the situations that you yourself may have been dealing with. You know something, guys? I can't even begin to tell you how many people have unexpectedly vanished from my life over the course of the last at least, 25 years. I've been very fortunate to have known the people that have came into my life for the short time that I did know them. But I think this is a situation that happens to us far more than ever given credit for, because there are more people zombieing out than ever given credit for that never seem to pay attention to what we may be texting them or talking to them about in everyday conversations. I think this happens more often than ever given credit for. So I think thousands of people, upon hearing the song Silent Treatment, kind of jumped to a conclusion, especially the critics who didn't really want to give this song much of a chance to begin with, because the majority of the videos were uploaded by critics. And I wanted to be everybody's favorite reviewer when it came to Descendants of Zombies. I wanted to give everything that related to Descendants of Zombies or had some relation to it the benefit of the doubt. And if you guys were going to watch a great video about Descendants of Zombies, I wanted it to be because of me. I wanted to be everybody's hero because I wanted to go down in history for having left behind a legacy, having everything to do with your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars and really everything related to Disney and Nickelodeon. And somewhere, somehow, I had no idea how I was going to reach out and touch the hearts of thousands of Descendants of Zombies fans. It kind of just happened for me because it had everything to do with how much potential you saw in every video that I ever uploaded. So when it came to honoring the legacies of Freya Skye and Clarke, who I forever and always had the back of and been in love and support of for forever, I will die a Clarke and Freya Skye fan. Especially a Clarke fan because she is gorgeous. She's incredibly talented and more of a chance deserves to be taken on her than ever before. And the same thing can be said about Freya Skye no matter how many conversations we have about her. You guys have come to know me for being a huge supporter of Descendants of Zombies, and for that foreseeable future, I would love to continue to be your voice of Descendants of Zombies. So if you could take a moment to show your love and support for every video that I've ever uploaded, you could hit my like button for this video or hit my subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate you for doing so, because I think these conversations never cease to exist, and they never have to be over. Because no matter how many videos I upload about Freya Skye, I can never seem to say enough nice things about her, because I've just wanted to show my appreciation for your heart and your dedication that you put behind everything Freya Skye has ever had the honor of being a part of and creating for each and every one of you. Because from the very first moment that you guys laid eyes and came in contact with Freya Skye, you knew she was going to be something special, and you yourself had a chance of being a part of something special. I realize that. Now that may have came in the form of me being on YouTube for over 25 years, because I've had the honor of being a part of many projects over the years that I never thought possible, but I've been very fortunate in my career. But, in whatever conversations or whatever interviews I do with other radio show hosts, the one thing that always comes up to me in conversation is, what are some of your greatest accolades that you're particularly fond of? And forever and always, it will consistently remain to be Descendants of Zombies. It will forever and always hold a special place in my heart, because I've had the honor of beating more fans than ever before at the expense of Descendants of Zombies. And for that, I've always and forever wanted to dedicate the rest of my life to each and every one of you for whatever I talked about. Little did I know it was going to come in the form of Descendants of Zombies, because I think that a lot of people say the things they do about Freya Skye and Clarke without ever having known them for the people they are, because they are really genuinely good people. They are such sweethearts, and I think because they are so sweet and genuinely kind, and there is not an unkind bone in Clarke and Freya Skye's body to be seen or to be heard of, I think more of a chance and more respect needs to be shown to them. Because when you take a chance on Freya Skye, and the more that you get to know her, I think the more we fall in love with her. And I think because the more that we fall in love with her as we get to know her more, I think more respect needs to be shown to her. I really hate how they do these interviews and they're asked the same 10 stupid questions that were probably asked 24 hours ago. If you've seen any Freya Skye interviews, it seems like it's a repetitive sequence where the same 10 questions are often reiterated. And I really appreciate interviews where you actually feel like you're talking to a best friend that you've known for your entire life. And that's how I've tried to separate every interview that I've ever had the honor of conducting, because I've recorded thousands of interviews over the course of 25 years. I don't do it as often as I used to, but ever since I've had the honor of recording an interview, I always try to make it like a conversation between two really good friends. Because there's no sense in ever recording or producing an interview where you're asking the same 10 questions that you had previously seen asked or heard in an interview. You have to make your interviews different from everybody else's, as you have to make your podcasts and your reviews on Descendants and Zombies. And that's all I've ever wanted to do, is be a part of something special, to have come into your lives and to have represented you as your voice of Descendants and Zombies. Because I know that there are so many unanswered questions about the future of Zombies 5 and Descendants 5 Book Wonderland. What's happening next? What's to be expected out of all of our lives in the forthcoming future for Descendants and Zombies? All we seem to know is that the consequences of time travel will be revisited. We will find out if Happily Ever After was all Chloe and Red ever expected it would be. And when it comes to Zombies 5, we know it's going to have something to do with the water. One could expect that it's going to be mermaids, witches, sirens. It really could be anything, because there is so much of a supernatural lore that goes with this story, and there is so much of a story to be told. And I really do believe that you guys are really going to fall in love with Freya, Skye, and Malika Burton's characters, Victor and Nova, just as you did Zed and Addison for over 7 years. Unquestionably, Zed and Addison held a special place in our hearts for over 7 years. They will never, ever be forgotten for their contributions to the Zombies franchise, and they will forever and always be loved and missed. My heart's broken that the story of Zed and Addison has been told and completed. I refuse to let go of it. I am never going to let go of it, and I will always reiterate the story of Zed and Addison and tell it over, if I haven't already, 1,000 times. Because I've always believed you guys have deserved better reviews when it comes to things like silent treatment, and people have jumped to way too many, far too many, formidable conclusions, and I really hate jumping to formidable conclusions, which means that you pretty much assume why this song was written, because of someone treating Freya, Skye unfairly in her own life that may have ghosted her, or how she may have been feeling. It was just a song that she wrote to relate to everybody that may have been going through the same thing, that she wasn't necessarily going through herself, because what do you know? At 15 years old, you're really just coming into your own. I just spoke on how at 15 years old, I was playing PlayStation 2, and my greatest concern was beating a level in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, which was the most popular video game of 2005, 2006. But I've loved every opportunity I've had to talk about whatever I've had the opportunity to talk about. I never knew I was going to have the opportunity to touch so many wonderful hearts and draw so much inspiration from Descendants and Zombies, because it's really cool how you guys really feel very passionate about Descendants and Zombies, and always have taken yourself up on the opportunity to learn more about a franchise that's obviously captivated you. And I think when more YouTube creators realize how much these franchises have captivated thousands of people, they will take more of an opportunity on showing the appreciation and showcasing that appreciation for Descendants and Zombies, because you've not only got to talk about Descendants and Zombies, you really got to understand how your audience appreciates a franchise quite like Descendants and Zombies. But I understand where everybody's frustration lies with these critics, because they can't really understand why people so quickly have fallen in love with this franchise. It has more to do with a passion than it does music, or more to do with a passion than it does the characters. I think everybody fell in love with Descendants and Zombies because of how quickly they could relate to each individual character's story, because it just wasn't one story specifically told about 3 or 4 characters. It was a story told for each individual character who significantly represented themselves and were able to separate themselves in an entirely different character from every other Descendants and Zombies character. And the cool and unique thing to be expected in Descendants 5 Book Wonderland and Zombies 5 forthcoming is more of a story to be told on characters that we have never seen before. And there is still so much more of a beautiful story to be told from Freya, Skye, and Malika Burton. That is more evident than ever before, because of how appreciative they are of being a part of every project they've been a part of and shared in together. Because this is something that really has represented friendship and really truly defined what a friendship is, has forever and always been expected to amount to. I think when we think about friendships like Zed and Addison and even Nova and Victor early on in their careers, is we want friendships like this to be seen in our own lives. I think everybody, more than anything in this world, has always wanted a best friend. And even with how easy sometimes it seems to be to find a best friend, more people than ever before given credit for find it very difficult to find and really confide and trust in that person. And when you do finally find it and come upon a beautiful friendship, it is more difficult to keep that friendship and friends like that in your life than ever before. But that's what you call unconditional friendship and unconditional love that we see for people like Victor and Nova, Zed and Addison over the years. These characters will never ever be forgotten, and I think we can never show enough appreciation for them. And that's why I've loved being a part of every single moment that I've had the honor of sharing in with each and every one of you, because it's an honor that I will never ever forget. This truly has been an experience that will change my life for forever and always, and I'll probably be talking about it 30 years from now when I'm like 65. I'll probably be talking about it. I've been on YouTube for a very long time, so I've learned to appreciate things like Descendants of Zombies more than any other YouTube creator has ever appreciated it, and I like to believe that I've taken these videos one step further, one giant leap for Jonathan Clarke, one giant leap for mankind, however you say it, or, further than any YouTube creator has ever gone before. Let me do it with the echo. Further than any YouTube creator has ever gone before. Nah, I love doing that kind of stuff. I always have loved, this honor, this opportunity to sit in front of this microphone and talk about Descendants of Zombies with each and every one of you. And when Freya Skye's song Silent Treatment was first released, I must have watched every reaction video that people were uploading. Some people were getting 5, 6, 7,000 views on every video that was being uploaded. But I like to believe that every video that I've ever uploaded about Freya Skye has been appreciated by more fans of Descendants of Zombies than far ever given credit for. Because there are more fans of Freya Skye out there in this really big universe tonight than I've ever met, that I would love the opportunity to meet, that are ever given enough credit for. And you guys are some of the most dedicated and some of the most respectful fans of all time. When I first came upon this niche of Descendants of Zombies, one thing that I very quickly realized was how respectful you were towards your favorite characters, and all these moments that truly have defined you for being fans of Descendants of Zombies. And all I've ever wanted to do in every video that I've ever had the honor of uploading and recording and producing for each and every one of you is to be a part of these moments with each and every one of you. And the sweetest experience in the world that I've ever had the honor of being a part of is for you guys to have allowed me to have come into your lives and been a part of your lives as your voice of Descendants of Zombies, as I continue to represent you in this foreseeable future that we are all going to be a part of. Because the undeniable thing about the future of Descendants of Zombies is its history. And as the sun is officially set in the background behind my YouTube video there, we are all going to be a part of this history, because every single night we look at the same moon. No matter what our dream is or how far our dreams seem to be away from becoming a reality, for each and every one of us, our dreams are that much closer to us than ever realized or ever taken into consideration for having been. But trust me, guys, no matter how far in the distance Zombies 5 seems to be becoming a reality for all of us, we are going to get there, and we are all going to be a part of it together. And that's what I'm really excited about for that foreseeable future, because I don't want to be like every other critic. I want to be one of the most highly respected critics of all time, and even have the slightest chance, if even I have the slightest chance, of going down in history for being a legend and the greatest of all time, because some of the greatest stories ever told become legendary. And I would like to believe that my story that I've shared with each and every one of you as one of the greatest reviewers in the history of Descendants of Zombies will go down in history for having been one of those legendary tales that were ever told. But I couldn't have done it without each and every one of you. Your love and your support that I've received for every video that I've ever uploaded here about Descendants of Zombies, having made this the most popular Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel in the universe, if not the galaxy, has everything to do with each and every one of you and how you always shine through for people like Clarke and Freya Skye. Guys, I'm just a host of a show, and I'm speaking from the perspective of a fan, which I can never seem to have enough opportunities to do. I loved every single moment that I've had the honor of talking about Descendants of Zombies and sharing my stories with each and every one of you. And from my heart to yours, all I simply want to say, and take this opportunity upon myself to put out there for everybody, whoever's been a fan of Descendants of Zombies, Clarke and Freya Skye, whoever you are, wherever you're hearing my voice or watching my video from, all I want to say is thank you so much for having made this YouTube channel an incredible opportunity for me, not only just to talk about Descendants of Zombies and share my stories with each and every one of you, but to have the honor to meet so many incredible fans of Descendants of Zombies. I just saw the teaser for Descendants 5 Book of Wonderland where they actually switched over their costumes and they pressed it on the pocket watch. And I noticed that it had over 685 likes. So when you put that into perspective with 685 likes on a YouTube short for Descendants of Zombies, that means there are thousands of people out there that I haven't even met yet. So that means I've got my work cut out for me as a YouTube creator, but I'd much rather be a full-time YouTube creator than having to apply for a job at Five Nights at Freddy's, which I always thought was a fictional place for a video game. I never ever thought that place was actually real, and robots like Freddy Fazbear and Chico were actually real. I actually saw Five Nights at Freddy's 2 last night and was really freaked out by it. But I would much rather be, having said that, I would much rather be a full-time YouTube creator than having to apply for a job at Five Nights at Freddy's. So if you guys could make that happen, because they don't even give you a shirt with security marked on the back of it when you apply for a job at Five Nights at Freddy's. If you guys could make it possible for me to even have the slightest chance of becoming a full-time YouTube creator and produce videos for Descendants of Zombies fans for the rest of my life, I would be more than appreciative of each and every one of you, because I would love the thought of having the chance to create Descendants of Zombies videos for the rest of my life. Having said that, guys, thank you so much for having watched this video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and ring that bell for every time that I upload a video so you won't miss out on a single second of the action or anything going down on this YouTube channel, because there's always a conversation happening here for Descendants of Zombies fans who think so much about these franchises and love them so much. Guys, thank you so much. You're the greatest fans in the world. Thank you so much for having watched this video.